This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour. Okay.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
It is bloody happy hour time.
Oh.
And are we going to get bloody today, Caroline?
Sometimes
we're bloody.
Yeah,
and
we're
sometimes
not super bloody. We're not super bloody.
Okay.
We're not super bloody.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
And you're drinking on some Bombay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just, sipping away in my cup.
I just have some water and some rum.
Oh, you're hydrating.
Yeah.
Wow, I love it. Well, actually, I'm drinking Gatorade with my, I'm basically hydrating too.
Yep.
What's going on in the world?
When I go back to work, I can't pay attention to the world. You know what I know what's going on? Only Suits. I'm obsessed with Suits right now. And when I'm not watching it, I worry about, what Mike Ross is doing.
I watched it so long ago that, I don't know.
It's so, I know, you watched it when it was actually going
on
out.
HBO.
But it's crazy that right now it's the most watched and the
most
downloaded.
Because now what's going on with Prince Harry and Meghan? Are they getting divorced? Are they separating? What's the...
I don't even know. That ain't even why. It was just because it's on Netflix and people were like, watch it. It's so good.
And they're all watching it because she's in it. Because they're like, oh, she's in it.
And she's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean...
and there's a beautiful redhead on there, Donna.
Oh, yep.
I'm in love with Donna.
They're all beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
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 It's just not fair. It's fine. It's fine.
Even in I Love Louis Litt, the little weasel-looking one, he's my favorite.
Oh,
that's the only thing I know about right now is Suits.
Yeah.
Shout out if anybody's watching Suits with me. If you're not, go watch it.
I do know there's been some fires lately in Maui.
Oh, I was going to say, there's some on my highway every morning when I'm going to work.
And I am all about the conspiracies.
What's start? Oh, the Oprah Winfrey conspiracy?
There's all kinds of them. And you know what? I don't even want to call it a conspiracy because I just want to call it is what it is. They use the direct energy weapons to light the place on fire so they could acquire all this land and give it to the elites, and they're going to try to make this island into
Another Epstein?
Well, into this new city. What is it called? Like a advanced city or something.
Oh. We know what kind of TikToks you're watching. I just saw something about Oprah owns a bunch of this land, and there's these tunnels and this human trafficking tunnels, and they're all going towards her land. And Supi he's like, this is going to cause a divorce. Every time I bring up a conspiracy or something's on the news, I'm like, oh, I wonder if the Illuminati made
I think
them do
all
it.
of that is accurate. I do. I think it's because then they're not getting what Ukraine's getting billions and billions of dollars, and Hawaii got $1 million. I mean, I don't know. Poor Hawaii. Poor Maui and Lithuania or whatever it's Lithuania. We're really good at everything, and everything you hear is facts. This is a fact-driven podcast, and we're here to tell you about it.
Crass and misinformed.
Crass and misinformed.
Title.
You know what? Let's change the name of the podcast. We're changing the name.
Oh, what you got today?
So this case has started to come back up here recently, and this is a wild ride.
Okay. I love those.
I don't know why I always bring the cases that have to do with a billion different dates and there's only 4 people, but it can get confusing.
And the way your mind works, I'm surprised you picked these.
I know, because I get invested and then I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be very...
Do I need a marker board to draw
You might.
a tree?
Yeah, y'all might need to get a
family tree
out. So this is about the Grant Solomon case.
Never heard of it.
He is so cute.
He was a little kid?
No, he's not. I'm not doing a kid.
Okay.
But he was 18.
Okay. Oh, it's a kid to me.
I know. But he wasn't like kidnapped kid.
Okay.
But y'all are going to hate this other guy. Okay, so in 2001, Angie Huffines reconnected with the guy that she met in high school, and this guy was named Aaron Solomon. And they dated for about 6 weeks, and then Angie got pregnant. And so they decided to get married because they had mounting pressure from both of their parents. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how old they were at the time, but she's pregnant, and they end up getting married. So Angie grew up in a abusive household. I don't know what kind of abuse. It's abusive household, but she was a basketball player. She had a beautiful singing voice. She got her bachelor's degree. She got her doctorate in pharmacy. She was hardworking. She was smart, and she bought her own house and was like on track to have a successful life.
And we're in Tennessee?
We are in Tennessee, yes. Aaron, so it's Angie and Aaron. Get the names straight already, okay? Aaron was, I don't know anything about his background, but he was working as a sportscaster for WSMV Channel 4, which was a news affiliate in Nashville, okay? So they have their first child, Grant Solomon, in 2002. Then they have Gracie in 2006.
Okay.
They lived in Nashville. Grant was super smart, very talented, loving. He was really into books, but he was also very athletic, friendly, loyal. It wasn't bubbly, okay?
Okay.
But he had this like aura about him. People always would go to him for advice and wisdom, and he was like an old soul.
Okay.
So he would talk to people as if he had been through their situation before, and so a lot of people confided in him, and he was just kind of friendly to everybody. He was just he's just a sweet looking. He has like longer hair. He has these like circle glasses, and he always had to wear glasses because he had terrible eyesight. I guess he didn't have contacts, but he had the best smile. I mean, it was just this cute. Oh, what a cute little boy.
We love him.
We do. So. He went to Grace Christian Academy School in Franklin, Tennessee, and he was a star baseball player. He was a pitcher. I mean, like D1 schools were looking at him and everything. So, now let me just preface this. All of this is based on, it's all alleged, and it's based on Angie and Gracie and Grant. It's all their side of the story. Okay.
Grant the son,
Gracie
the daughter, Angie the mama.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So according to Angie, her and Aaron's relationship turned like tumultuous after Grant was born, which was the first child, which was like not
right
very
after because they got married because they got pregnant.
Yes. So she had said that Aaron was very manipulative and he had frequent violent outbursts, and he would do whatever to exert control over her. Cheated on her multiple times. He started to hire sex workers or prostitutes. Their relationship was deteriorating, and then she also found out that he was allegedly grooming several underage girls. Okay. In 2011, Aaron voluntarily resigned from his position as a sports anchor. But Angie says that he was fired because they found inappropriate stuff on his computer and his phone. Okay. So that was in 2011. 2014, he transitioned his role and he became a financial advisor for Merrill Lynch, which is an investment management firm. Yep. So that's good. So throughout all of this, Angie like starts going to therapy because she's like, he's being abusive, he's cheating on her, and he gets fired and just all the things. So she starts going to therapy, and Aaron, the husband, is like refusing to let her go alone, or like not like giving her her privacy to go alone. So he's really trying to like control everything. So he starts like, I don't know what, I guess it says he starts listening in on the sessions. Okay. But then he starts attending the sessions. I think she got 1 or 2 in by herself. And then he refused to let her do it anymore alone. And so he joined her.
That's the worst.
So Angie she was diagnosed with PTSD stemming from torment from her earlier life or her childhood. And Aaron was diagnosed with NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, as well as having a sex addiction.
Damn.
So
therapist was real busy.
This is good. It's so bad. So so then that happens. Then they have they have Gracie, they have their daughter. And Aaron is just consistently angry, and mainly towards Angie and Grant, wife and son. So in early January 2013, Gracie's 5, and she tells her mom that her father is doing things to her in the bathtub. And she would get upset. Like over time, she would not want to take a bath, never want to take a bath. The dad, so Aaron, refused to let Angie give Gracie baths, and he was the only one that was... Gracie told her mom that dad was hurting her. I don't know, okay, because if she's 5, I don't know how she can speak these things, but I think it was later on, a few years later, that she comes in, she says...
Okay, talk good.
Okay, they can say, but...
You had a lot of words at 5 years old.
Okay, so it's like she's like, Daddy was hurting me sexually and physically. I don't know if she would say that. But anyways, that's what the thing was, that he was hurting her in both ways. And she said he was putting the soap inside of her and it was really hurting her.
Oh, shoot.
But then like later on, because she goes to YouTube and she does this whole, like, tells her story. And she comes out and says that it probably wasn't the soap. It was like his hand or whatever.
And he's probably saying, let me clean you down there with the soap, but it's just as...
What a disgusting...
Did we say trigger?
Trigger. Yes, and there's a lot of triggers, so... But this is probably as descriptive as it... But just everything's triggered. So... Angie confronts Aaron. So she confronts him and she's like, Gracie told me that you've been doing things to her with soap, blah, blah, blah. And he allegedly confessed and said, yeah, I am doing that. But you better not say anything or I'm going to take him from you. Okay, so then he warned her if she said anything, he was going to take the kids away. And now she's starting to go, she's like, okay, I'm going to see another therapist, probably behind his back to get it to where he isn't involved. And so then they kind of like, she starts taking notes. She has everything on her phone. She's documenting everything, any incidents. And then she's emailing back and forth with her therapist, and they're kind of coming up with some plan to leave him, but also to get the kids away from him, almost like an escape plan, but like in a safe way.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Angie and Grant and Grace, so mom and the kids, they start sleeping in the master bedroom together, all 3 of them, and dad sleeping in another room because they're all scared of him. And they know that he has these violent outbursts. And so whenever he gets angry, they want to be able to lock themselves in the room.
God.
I mean, this is like it gets worse.
I'm mad at Angie.
She I feel like she felt like her hands were tied and she didn't know what to do. Because she's going to therapy. I don't know. What do you do? Nobody.
Leave.
Maybe she did. Man, and if she's a doctor, because if she's a pharmacy, she's her doctorate in pharmacy, she's got to have a job. So, anyways, they're in the room, and then in May 2013, he has an outburst. So, they all go, they lock themselves in the room. He's like, Angie, get in the bathroom. So she goes into the bathroom, and he hits her at the side of the head and starts strangling her with the cord from the hairdryer.
Okay.
And as that's happening, Grant walks in, and he stops it, and he is, intervenes, gets Aaron off of his mom, and she's able to escape the situation, and she told Grant, she's like, we can't report this because, let's not report it to the cops because he's going to... she just is in fear. I guess she's in this, complete fear. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so she was like, just don't say anything, and I won't say anything, and we're going to figure it out. We have a plan. We're going to leave. Okay. Well, plot twist, Aaron calls the police and reports the incident because he wants to get ahead of it, because being the narcissist that he is, he wants to be able to have control of the narrative and to basically say, this is what happened. I mean, he basically is a politician, I feel like. So Angie's parents had come over to the house. So they call Angie's parents, come over, and they get there, and that's whenever Aaron says that Angie was attempting suicide.
Oh, with the cord.
With the cord. And that is what he also told the 911 dispatcher, was that his wife was trying to commit suicide. So he's telling her parents that that's what happened. He's telling the 911 people that's what happened. And remember, she had this abusive childhood. So her parents and Aaron then force her to go to the hospital to get an evaluation, a mental evaluation.
Oh, gosh.
So her parents don't believe what she's saying. Her husband is making up shit. And then she just has her 2 kids who, they never believe the kids. So they forced her to go to the hospital. They're saying she's mentally ill. But then Angie gets to talk to the doctor alone, and she tells them the real story about what happened, and that Aaron is physically harming her, and that he choked her with the cord, and blah, blah, blah. She spends one night, and her outpatient psychiatrist said that confirmed she was not attempting to take her life, that she was in a normal state of mind, and nothing that would have caused her to want to take her life had happened. She was diagnosed with major depression, but she was in remission, and she was discharged, and in the discharge, they said that she was in a risky situation and a possibly violent situation with her husband. So they're she's in this risky situation. She lives in this domestic violence relationship, and her parents were also unreliable sources of information. So it concluded that Angie was not a danger to herself or to others. Okay, this is what the medical diagnosis is, what the doctors say. Tests are all checked. Everything's checked out. She's fine, blah, blah, blah. She gets a restraining order against Aaron, against her husband. She's like, I'm getting a restraining order. So she had to stay that one night at the hospital. They clear her. She gets a restraining order. She goes home, which was the next day, and nobody's home.
He took them.
He took the kids, and he gone. She calls him over and over, no answer. She calls her parents over and over, no answer. She calls his parents over and over, no answer.
Oh, my goodness.
So now she's at home, and it's the next day. It's May 12th. It's Mother's Day.
No.
She's thinking, okay, maybe he'll bring them back. It's Mother's Day. But instead, the police show up at her house. Apparently, Aaron had called 911 again, claiming that Angie was once again trying to commit suicide. Police do a little a mini investigation. They find no evidence of the claim, and they told Angie that she was likely in a toxic and harmful relationship, and they left without doing anything else. So she's once again back to
Nashville.
Crooked. We're coming up to some crooked. So, meanwhile, as this is happening, all of a sudden, Aaron files for divorce.
Oh. He works real quick.
Real quick.
He's on it.
And
she should have been on it like this.
He obtained a order of protection against her, so a restraining order, for himself and the children. So, he was then granted full custody of the kids.
God.
Over the next months, she's like trying to fight for custody, everything. Gracie said that neither her or Grant wanted to live with their father because they were scared of him, and he was so strict, he was physically harmful to them, that he only allowed them, he allowed them meat and vegetables only. They were not allowed to have sugar.
Oh,
Grant
paleo?
lost, he's major paleo. Grant lost like 25 pounds.
Oh, wow.
He was noticeably skinnier and frail. And at one point, I think it was, the three of them were driving somewhere, and it wasn't where they were supposed to be going. And Grant tries to like jump out of the truck while it's moving.
Oh, Grant.
But Dad grabs Grant's wrist so hard and tight that he thought that he broke his wrist. But this is how desperate they are to get out of this situation.
And they're old enough to speak, like, all they have to do is speak up, or all that somebody had to do is ask them.
Let's see, if this is 2013.
And he was born in 2001?
He was born in
2002.
2002.
That's old enough. The judge will talk to you
So
at 8 years old.
12? I'm mathing. Okay, born in 2002, and it's 2013, so he's 11.
Yeah.
And so but the girl was born in 2013. No, that's the same year it is. She was born in 2006.
Okay, so she's 7.
So she's still pretty little. Okay, so it's 2013. Now they have a divorce hearing. Angie's dad and her sister both testify against her. And medical experts testify in her favor, confirming that she is a victim of domestic violence. But the judge ruled in Aaron's favor. Okay.
It's a man's world.
And I don't know. I don't know why the family's doing this. If there's just a big piece of the story we're missing. But to me, it sounds like...
So the parents were backing him?
Yes. The whole time. So over the next 6 months, she tries to find a solution. She's trying. And by 2014, the court granted... So after 6 months, they granted her 2 hours of supervised visitation per week. But during these visits, she started to notice that, like, Grant started to lose even more weight. And Gracie was having, like, bags and dark circles under her eyes. And it's like you can tell they're, like, emotionally drained and they're exhausted. And that you could just tell they were suffering. And plus, she's only, like, 8, 9. And so you shouldn't have that much stress that young. So November 2014 comes around, and Gracie tells her mom that her dad was attacking her continuously in a sexual manner. So this is and then going into 2015, so like November to 2014, 2015, she's still telling her more and more allegations, saying that there's times that she would randomly become very sleepy. She would wake up and she would have, like, the inside of her thighs and her privates were burning. and she could never remember why. She said one time she managed to get away from her dad. She FaceTimed her mom, and she showed her the bruising on her inner thighs. And I guess Angie confronted Aaron, and he said that the bruising was from her swimsuit.
Oh, God.
Okay.
And they're hopeless because nobody listens to them, so there's probably no point of telling people at school. They can't tell their grandparents.
Just wait.
The school lets them down, too.
Yep. And the church.
Oh, this guy's that good.
During this time, Aaron had inherited a trust. So he had an aunt that died.
Okay.
$1 million trust fund.
Oh.
Over to Aaron. So now he's got plenty of money to do whatever he wants. He's getting $100,000 a month.
Damn.
Just from this trust fund. And in April 2015, he reported to the police that Angie was not paying child support.
Oh.
As he has this money from the trust fund coming in. So this led to her being arrested.
Oh, my goodness, Angie.
Can you get arrested for not paying child support?
Yes.
How long?
How long? What do you mean?
Like, is there an amount? Or is it just the spouse has to be the one, or the baby daddy or baby mama has to be the one to turn you in?
I don't know how they police it, but it's against the law. Like, you have to pay it. And then when you go to jail and somebody posts your bond, that bond, like that money goes to the spouse that you owe money to.
Okay. I don't know. Interesting. So she's arrested, and then this is basically her dad knew that mom and Gracie were talking, so this is kind of why he did this. This is why he said she wasn't paying child support, and that he got arrested because he wanted to silence her, and this was his way of doing that. And over the next 3 years, she stayed silent because she wanted her kids to be safe, and she didn't want to make the kids she didn't want to make him mad. It would come off on the kids, and it would be worse for them. So she's just kind of laying low because she doesn't know what to do. So 2018, we're 3 years later, there is emergency hearing that is called. So Grant had a baseball tournament in North Carolina. Angie filed for an emergency custody hearing based on allegations of neglect and physical harm by Aaron. So Grant stays at his tournament, and this was because of Gracie. So Grant stays at the tournament. Gracie and Aaron, so dad and daughter, are driving back from North Carolina to Tennessee for this custody hearing. Along the way, dad books a hotel room. Gracie wants to have 2 separate beds. Dad has 1 bed instead of 2. So she told him, hey, get 2 beds because she was scared of him. She's going to get abused. And sure enough, she did get abused. And there's no details about everything. But the next day was the hearing, and she goes into details at the hearing, tells the court what happened the night before, and just recounted everything that he did to her. Then his lawyer gets up and gets in her face and is insisting that she's making this all up, nothing inappropriate happened, and that all of her allegations are false.
Oh, shit.
In her face. And Grant's the son, had also submitted a letter to the court saying that he was living in fear of his father, and that his father was restricting food, calling him fat, making him practice like over and over endlessly, baseball practices with no breaks, and just like constantly on them, constant. So both the kids expressed that they wanted to live with their mom, and that every moment that they spent with their father was spent in terror.
Oh, those babies. And what'd they do?
At the conclusion of the case, Williamson County, let me make sure I say this nice and loud. Williamson County Circuit Court Judge Dina Johnson dismissed.
A woman?
Yes. Dismissed the petition citing lack of merit, whatever that means. And she barred Angie from filing any additional civil lawsuits against Aaron for the next 6 years, discrediting Angie and Gracie's claims, assuming that Angie was filing these lawsuits out of spite.
Oh, my gosh.
Gracie was then forced to return to her father's custody.
No way.
What is even happening?
No way.
Now let's talk a little bit about the church. Aaron attends the same church as several influential members of the court system and the community, along with Governor Bill Lee. Not Billy, Bill Lee. So they all attend this church, Grace Chapel Church. Grace Chapel Church.
They should be shut down.
If you know anyone that goes to Grace Chapel Church, tell them to get out. So Aaron and the kids, they've been going there for several years, but then they're also going to school, which was in, like, the school is attached to the church.
He sets it up to make himself look so good.
So although the church and schools are separate entities, they do share the same ideology. And, like, they're all the church, they're thinking that Aaron is this good guy. He goes to church. He gives back to the community.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he has all this money now to give back. So, yeah. So you have law enforcement, you have the courts, you have the government, and they all seemed to believe that Aaron is just this great guy. They go to church together. They have the same, they just share the same thoughts, everything. It was also alleged that this judge, Dina Johnson, had spoke to the pastor of the church before making her ruling on the custody situation, which led, obviously there's bias, and Angie is like, this is so, like, fucked up, obviously.
She should get disbarred.
Yes. How do you disbar somebody? Can we, well, who knows? Apparently, there's another podcast that's called The Corruption in Tennessee that goes over apparently there's this corruption in Tennessee, clearly as we're talking about it. So now Gracie and Grant were supposed to live with a family friend under DCS care.
Department of Family and Child
Services? So he was, like, the dad was still granted custody of them, but they were going to live with another family member.
So something happened.
So something else happened, I guess, that I don't know how that. But Gracie says that this is when she confided in staff members at her high school, Grace Christian Academy, about physical attacks that her father was doing to her, and that one day the principal called her in the office and advised her to stop talking about what was happening in order to preserve her reputation.
Oh my God. Oh,
and
Christian.
Grant also went to talk to the school pastor, telling him about everything that was happening. Still, nobody took any action. Okay. So it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm going to play you a clip. And in this clip, Angie was going to the school to pick up Gracie for a doctor's appointment. She's waiting in the car line to pick her up. Aaron shows up, and he's like, no, I'm picking her up, and I'm taking her to the doctor's appointment. And she's like, whatever. So she follows him as he's taking her to the doctor's appointment. They do the appointment, they come out, and this is the conversation that is happening after they leave the appointment. This was with Grace, Angie, and then the man that you hear is the dad.
Well, I'm missing Marty right now. Please. I want to ride with Mom.
All right, so then after the party, you go with me and Grant to Mississippi?
I don't want to go to Mississippi, please. I just want to
Okay, Gracie, you're coming to me eventually. Because you guys are breaking the rules. I'm not. You two are breaking the rules. I'm not.
Is that what you think it is?
No, I know what it is. I understand. But at some point, we're supposed to be following rules that aren't being followed. And there's reasons for the rules. And it doesn't matter what us three think. And we've had this conversation a number of times, but it's going to stop. Gracie will be coming to me at some point. Whether you like it or not, it will happen. Because I'm not going to continue to allow us to be breaking the rules. And you shouldn't be allowing it either. And you shouldn't be allowing it either. It's not just about what you want right now. It's much bigger than that. And I've tried to play nice and be nice about it, but you've done with Mom way more than you're supposed to, and way more than what the judge
There
said.
shouldn't be supposed
It doesn't
to.
matter what you think right now.
Lovely. And like right before this, whenever before they were going to that doctor's appointment, the headmaster Robbie Mason, he said that Gracie's claims were old news and he had put her in the car with her father.
Oh.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Has the school been burned down and the church?
If it ain't burning, it's probably about to burn, because this is all popping back up right now. All this whole story.
Because what happened?
Well, okay. Everything, as terrible as everything is right now, it's about to go from bad to much worse.
Okay.
I hate to say it. So July 20th, 2020, Grant was going to baseball practice. He had early morning baseball practice, so he was living with they were living with that family friend or whatever where they were, and it was about an hour drive, but his dad was meeting him at the practice, and then he gets to where he was supposed to go, and then 15 minutes before practice starts, Grant is struck by his own truck and killed.
What? His own truck?
This is so shady. He's struck by his own truck. The only witness to the accident is his father,
Oh my God.
Aaron Solomon. So allegedly, he was getting his baseball equipment out of the bed of his truck when his truck began rolling backwards, trapping Grant, and then dragging him over 60 feet, and the truck ended up in a rocky ditch where Grant was trapped under it and died there.
No.
Okay, so
Where was the daddy? In the driver's seat.
Well, here's the thing. He had met him. He was in a different car. Okay. So the morning that Grant got there about 8:30, 8:40. And it was hot. It was like 80 to 90 degrees. The truck he was driving was a 2015 Tacoma pickup truck. And according to the reports, he went to get his baseball equipment out of the bed of the truck. Okay. And then this is when the truck just all of a sudden started rolling backwards. Okay. But then this is where they're questioning. They're like, well, you're going to put your baseball equipment in the back of your truck when it's already that hot, and wouldn't it be get hot? Why would you not just put it in the back seat? Okay. Yeah. So that was one thing. So Aaron calls 911 around 8:44, and he initially tells police that they met at the facility, that he parked his own car. He was looking at his emails on his phone, and that's when he realized that Grant's truck was no longer there.
Oh, wow.
And that it was no longer parked next to him. And he heard this large crash, and he saw Grant's truck rolling down the hill into this ditch, and it was dragging Grant.
I bet he said it nice and calmly, just like you did.
Oh, just wait till you hear it.
God.
When the police arrived to take his statement, he told
Devils.
police that he saw Grant get out of the truck, grab his baseball gear from the bed of the truck, and then he saw the truck start backing up, hitting and dragging Grant all the way to the ditch, trapping him under the car. But during the call, he claimed that there was 3 witnesses to the incident, but then they were never mentioned again, and later he changed his story, saying that he was the only one present. But how did he's changed his story multiple times, because at first he's checking his email and didn't even see it, but then he saw the whole play the clip. Roll the clip.
Roll that beautiful
Roll the
bead.
clip. This is the 911 call, and it is 4 minutes, and I'm playing the whole thing, so you're welcome.
Trying.
Oh.
I'm trying.
Where's your emergency?
It's 1357 South Water Street. It's off 109. Please hurry.
You said 57?
Please hurry.
Okay, what's going on?
1357. My son's truck backed over him, and it's rolled over him and drug him into the ditch, and it's on top of him. He's trapped under the truck, and somehow it drug him underneath it. Yes, my son is under it. I'm trying to call 911.
Okay, what's your name?
Oh my God. My name is Aaron Solomon.
And you said
Oh
you're
my
at
God.
1357 South Water Avenue, right?
Yes.
How old
Yes.
is the male?
He's 18. He just turned 18 a couple weeks, about a month ago. It's my son. Oh my God. Oh my God, this is not good.
Is he awake and
Oh,
talking
please hurry.
to you?
Oh,
I don't
please
know.
hurry.
I don't think so.
please
He's not.
hurry.
He's not alert, right? No, he's out.
He's not even over there
He's
next
trapped.
to
I
him.
got 3 guys here, and he's trapped under the truck.
And nobody's moved the truck.
Oh my God.
I understand, sir. Stay on the phone with me while we get somebody out there. What's your name?
Aaron Solomon.
All right, Aaron.
Huh?
What kind of vehicle is it?
It's a Toyota Tacoma, and the vehicle he's underneath the vehicle,
Okay, I've
and
got that.
and it's
Okay, I've got that. What color is it?
it's a white truck. That's my son. Somehow it backed up. Yeah.
He sounds so concerned.
Yeah, I'm on with 911 right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Was your son working on it?
No, he was just getting out of it. We're on an incline, and I guess he didn't have it in park or something, or it wasn't engaged, or. Oh my God. Oh my
Is your
God,
son
I can't believe
still not
this.
responding?
No.
And he's still under
No.
truck. No one can get
Yes.
out from under it.
No,
We've got units en route to you. I'm just asking you questions for we can
Huh?
update them, okay? Can you check and see
Huh?
if he's breathing?
Somebody's telling me that he's coming too.
Okay,
Maybe.
he is waking up,
Maybe.
kind of keeping still. So he is
Well, he
breathing?
can't move. I don't think he can move. I don't know.
Okay, I understand.
No, he can't move. He's trapped.
Okay, we got somebody en route. Now, when he wakes
I-
up, he might
I'm
be
telling him,
scared.
man.
Can somebody
I'm
just get
telling
down
him.
there and talk to him?
Yeah, somebody talked to him. Shit. There's blood. What, is he facing up or down? He's facing up. They said he may aspirate. We need to hurry. Oh my God.
So does he have blood coming out of his mouth?
Yeah, there's blood coming out. Yeah, somehow it drug him down, I think. I don't know whether it wasn't in park or what, or if it didn't engage the brake, or it drug him underneath somehow.
Okay.
They said he's facing up,
Okay.
but he's bleeding from his mouth. So, Grant, turn your face to the side if you can, barely, but be careful.
Stupid!
Okay.
We can't move him. We can't move him. Oh my God.
and they're there.
Oh my God.
Is that not the worst?
Grant, move
Not
your
what-
hand to the move your
Grant,
head to
can
the side
Grant,
if
can you
can.
hear me? If you move your are you a mile away?
Are you speaking to a dead roadkill? Like he had no emotion. You know what happened?
Oh no!
Grant turned 18, and at 18,
Yes,
you can make the decision to where you want to go.
you are in the you. Oh,
That's what that was. And he was not going to win. He was not going to let Angie win.
yes.
Oh, I know.
How did you know?
Turn 18. Oh, my goodness.
Yes, that
Grant.
is exactly what happened.
Angie better sue Dina and the church. It better be called Angie's
This is why.
Angie's school, Angie's church.
So
Now she created Angie's list and she's rich.
yes.
Oh,
So there. I mean, this is. I'll put the video of the of everything on all the things. You know, the truck and the rocks and the whole thing. So
are you gonna put on there what the words that is said on there? Like
yeah,
how
I can
he
put
refused?
that. I can put the clip.
No,
yeah.
are you gonna say it?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
They're
yeah.
like he refused.
Yeah. You can say. So like first we're like, how did the truck just roll backwards? And how do you just? So basically, he's saying that the truck just wasn't in park and it just rolled backwards and he got stuck underneath and it drug him and then he ended up in this ditch.
But that said that the truck has a safety feature where it would not anyways.
Yeah.
And that he refused any type of inspection of the truck, refused an autopsy, even though there was a bruised jaw.
Oh, yeah. So it's like the report said that the police classified it as a private parking accident
Oh my God.
versus an incident on the highway and government ditch where the truck and Grant were found. According to Angie, Grant would have never placed his baseball equipment in the bed of his truck. He always has it in the back seat. So which one? And how did the truck roll backwards? Because this brand of truck, they say it's Toyota Tacoma, had a 5-star safety rating. And what you just said, if it was in park and there was proof it was in park, there was no recall on this truck.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, they never explored it. They never tested it. And then Aaron refused to have the vehicle examined for any defects. He claimed that he was run over because of a car malfunction. You would think you would want to get that examined. You would want to look into that.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Naturally. Okay.
What's the little baby's name? Grant? Is his name Grant?
Yeah.
Didn't mean a thing to Aaron. He was just a piece of something to fight with Angie about.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, it was investigated by an independent agency who did perform an analysis, and the evidence showed that there was nothing defective with the transmission, and it should have prevented that vehicle from rolling backwards when it was in park. Like, there would have been no reason why this car would have just all of a sudden rolled backwards.
And I bet Angie had to beg and pay for that independent agency to do that because the cops did not do their job.
The police did not perform this the investigation of the truck. They did not treat this case as a potential homicide, but simply as an accident. So, according to the reports, he was dragged, well, like I said, over 60 feet underneath the truck. His wounds received, though, did not match with the medical information. Because you would expect to see road rash, scrapes, couple scratches. Maybe you'd have, like, scratches on your shoes. They said that he had nothing. Nope. There was let's
and
see.
you'd still be alive unless it just got your head. Like it might have got your leg.
Yeah, they said since he was drugged on his back, you would expect for him to have injuries to his back. He did not have any road rash, no burn marks, no torn clothing. His injuries were blunt force trauma to the back of the head, bleeding from the scalp, nose, and ears. Okay?
You hit him with the bat.
The police department said that, let's see.
Oh, the police department decided to work?
No, they didn't. They said that they did not think that there was any foul play.
Oh, God. He's paying them some money.
And, you know, they took him by his word. He was clean cut. He had a good job, and he was a man of the church.
What
And
did I tell you the most powerful man in the world is?
Joel Osteen?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Basically a white Protestant male. The most powerful person. White Protestant male. And then you add money to that, like you can get away with anything. Christian.
Schmo Schmeiden?
Christian. You can get away with anything because people take you at your word, right? Especially if you add money to that you can just pay off Christian, right? Everybody trusts a Christian. A male.
But
You're
these
gonna
days,
take your males?
nobody likes a white male. You're no good. And all white men are no good.
Well, now we know
Yeah.
that you're most likely going to be the serial killer.
True.
But still, like, you can get away with so much if you have money and you're male. Like, look at all these people in
money
his pocket.
and power.
Because look at the
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah.
Use just this one
Yep.
case.
Yep.
She didn't have the money. She was a woman, and she didn't have her kids in the Christian. She didn't even have her kids. She didn't have the Christian to be in the Christian school. He just knew how to set it up so that he can get away with any and everything. And he was probably good with his mouth.
Yes, they said that he was very elegantly spoken and very manipulative. He could, talk it up. The crime scene, they said there was no grass appeared to be disturbed due to Grant being drug over it. No tire tracks, anything. A bunch of other things. Like there was just no evidence that this is what happened. That they think what happened was he was hit over the head, and then he fell into the ditch, and then the truck drove him over to just make sure that he wouldn't move. And to make it look like it was like a staged crime scene. Gosh. There was no damage underneath the truck, and the rocks underneath it weren't big enough to really cause that much of a head trauma. So they then noticed that one of Grant's bats was missing.
Oh.
From
Did it fall down the ravine on accident?
I think it must have fallen down the ravine. Yeah, so Aaron refused to have a autopsy, refused to have anything examined, and then the only person who was with him was him. And Gracie then went on to make a YouTube video that went viral, and she did this in 2021. She said that my brother died protecting me from my father because, yes, he did just turn 18, and he was going to out his father, and that's exactly what they say is the motive. She said, my brother died protecting me from my father, Aaron Solomon. My father is a monster. It makes me want to vomit. I've been minimalized, but now I've found my voice to be able to tell you that my father raped me, hurt me, and I'm not going to be a victim of this monster. He is a rapist. He is a molester. He is a liar, and he is a killer. And it was an 18-minute video that she did.
When did Grant get killed?
2020.
So it took her a year to get that, like, and so the next year she put that out.
2021, she put it out. It gets even dirtier.
Was she still living with him?
I don't know, because how old is she in 2021? She was born in 20.
She ain't 18 yet.
Well, she's yeah.
'Cause
So I guess
he's
she's
just turned 18.
Well, I guess maybe she was still living with those people, or maybe by this point, maybe after he died, she was. No, they don't know where the dad. They don't know where he. Oh. Hang on, it gets even worse. Dad then files a defamation lawsuit against Gracie.
Oh, this man.
Which has been lifted, but many speculate it'll be refiled. Okay. So then Aaron also tells he had his pastor, Steve Berger, speak up for him, sending cease and desist letters, threatening to sue people who dare question Grant's death, question anything about what happened, anything about the Toyota, anything about his daughter, anything that anybody says, he's gonna sue you. You can't speak. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure that's like a First Amendment freedom of speech.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so. As a result, Dad tries to get rid of the car. He gets rid of the truck. He doesn't have anything investigated. Angie, mom and daughter, search out the car. They find the truck. They get the truck investigated, but most of the stuff was already gone. But they got the truck back. There's all this stuff that's going on with the truck. But overall, they believe that, just like you said, Grant had been threatening to out his father, and he was going to testify against him. And according to the affidavit, Dad had begun sexually abusing Gracie when she was 6 years old, raped her at 11. Grant was emotionally and physically abused. When Angie attempted to do the divorce, everything got crazy, and then this is how it all spiraled out. At this point...
Yeah, I need a where we at now?
As of now, Aaron Solomon has not been charged.
Oh, my gosh.
It appears that the methods going towards protecting him are even more wild than just what we thought. It is he's apparently he's in hiding. Apparently we can't find him. He's
in the church, hiding in the church.
He's probably hiding in the church. There is a website, freedom4gracie.com. freedom4gracie.com. This talks about everything. It talks about Grant's death. It talks about its crime scene photos, reports, the truck, the timeline, news, everything. There is a change.org that we're signing, and we're trying to get it to where we got to get this guy and press charges on him. He's nowhere. We can't find him. So once they raise a certain amount of money, they'll be able to press the charges, get justice. They have a Facebook, they have a Twitter, they have an Instagram, they have everything where you can post about whatever, just to get the ball rolling. Let's see, where is Aaron Solomon?
That's where it's called.
No, I was just saying where, because they want to. Pedophile Aaron Solomon continues with Merrill Lynch? Oh, hell no.
Still working with Merrill Lynch?
Oh, no.
This is ridiculous. This is the worst story. And it's the worst because so many people let this whole family down.
Yes, and it is horrifying how
it's going to be like a Murdaugh, like where years later there's going to be a wrongful death suit against Nashville or whatever county and the judge, like all these people that just covered it up, and there's so many people.
So many people. There's Facebook pages.
No, so many people that let them down. Like it's not just like like not just CPS. It's CPS. It's
the
lawyers,
community. It's the law enforcement.
It's the law. It's the church.
Judicial. Yes.
It's the law enforcement. It's the damn judge.
It's her
It's
family.
the preacher. It's her parents. It's sad. It's the school. Wow. So many.
But it's all over TikTok. There's all Aaron Solomon. Solomon. That's the dad. And if you, he looks shady as hell.
You know where it all went wrong? They dated for how long?
Oh, she got pregnant right away.
Yeah. And then got married. You know what they say is that you don't know a person until 2 years. You got to know a person 2 full years to really know the true person.
I will never. I mean, I agree.
Dr. Laura Schlesinger.
Oh, I love some Dr. Laura.
She's the best.
So
had she waited 2 years, and it only took, a couple months for her to see the real person. But it was too late. She had already married him. She was already stuck. No, you're never stuck. She could have, time she knew, I'm not victim blaming, but there's time your daughter said, Daddy did this to me, that was your out.
Yeah. I know. Oh, here we go. They have a GoFundMe to donations will assist the family in performing a private exhumation. So they're going to exhume him. They're going to do an autopsy. They're going to do accident reconstruction, private investigation, and attorney's fees.
I'm surprised he didn't make them cremate.
At first, that's one of the reports that was out was that he was cremated or
wanted to have him cremated.
Yes, but he wasn't. And they have a petition on change.org, and they're trying to get to 300,000 signatures, and they have 273,000.
Well, post that. Everybody needs to go and sign it because their grant needs some justice. And Angie, she needs redemption.
It's
and
so
Gracie
bad.
Needs redemption.
And I don't know if they have a new DA or what, I don't know, but I sure hope that they have, or Attorney General, I don't know all these
Dina
things.
needs to be disbarred.
Dina needs to go.
The preacher needs to get out the pulpit. I'm mad at everybody.
Yeah. So
and I love me some Nashville.
I know. There's several other, corruption. There's corruption. This is just like South Carolina.
This is damn near worse.
And Mandy Matney, who did the Murdaugh Murders podcast, and she's the one who
she better
exposed everything on Murdaugh.
Uh-huh.
They've now changed the name of their podcast to Little Cup of Sunshine or something, and they are covering it.
Oh, okay.
They are covering it. So she's heard about it. So I mean, it's getting out there, and hopefully, it'll just keep getting out there.
And all they need is a Netflix series
Coming up.
Wow, that was good.
So there you have
it. Good. So good. Go do all the things, because
there's a lot of things to do.
Andy needs to. What's his name? Already forgot it.
Aaron. He needs to go, and he just needs to be fired from Merrill Lynch. I'm going to have to talk to some people about that.
Okay, y'all. Good stuff, Caroline. Go in and rate us. Tell us how you like this episode or one of the other episodes, or tell us how much you hated one of them.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Go and subscribe to Patreon. And don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
What does that mean?
Down to find the killer or figure out what's happening for justice.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Everybody has a story worth telling. I'm Corey Duncan. On Best Story Ever, I take guests that you know through their most unique and captivating stories. The best part? I hear the story for the first time when you do. Everyone has a story. What's yours? find Best Story Ever on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Hola, yo soy Jackie.
Y yo soy Jessica.
Y esto es Zona del Crimen. Un podcast donde hablaremos sobre casos de crímenes reales
Y eventos impactantes que han quedado marcados a través del tiempo. Recuerden que nos pueden seguir en Facebook, Instagram
o donde escuches tus podcasts favoritos.
Hey, I'm Blair.
And I'm Brittany. And we're the host of
By the Cover Podcast.
We cover everything from mysteries, thrillers, romance, chick lit, and even some smut.
Don't forget the smut.
Yeah.
We're so excited to get this thing going and share this with you guys. We've been talking about this for months, and it's finally happening.
Yes.
Special shout out to Rogue Media for helping us with this.
For sure. For sure. You can find us on Instagram at bythecover_podcast.
You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok, so don't forget to give us a follow on those too also.
And we are so excited to dive into some of our favorite books and share those with you.
We can't wait. Hope you love it.
Hi, and welcome to Bustles and Bangers with your hostess, Rachel and Christopher.
I love it when you say my name.
And you didn't say hi.
I didn't. You just kept going. I'm going to introduce the book. I'm not reading it.
It's
because I don't like reading.
Girls like cowboy butts, and those jeans don't hide anything.
Find us on Instagram at Bustles and Bangers or on roguemedianetwork.com.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.